do this. We tried for a while to get something scheduled, and it's finally happening. So really excited. We'll kind of start off, introduce myself. I'm Boaz, um, one of the owners of Sugar Splash. We started the business about 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago now. Um, we started as a one product company, um, just to kind of test the market, see if there's something where we'd fit in and if it was worthwhile. And the response has just been awesome. So now I think we're up to 5 products, 7 SKUs, and it's just going really well. So I'm excited to tell you guys about the products today. Hi, Susanna.
Hey, how are you?
Good to see
Good,
you.
good. Glad to have
Awesome.
you.
All right. Yeah, thank you guys for having me. This is great.
Let's see.
Um, all right, I'm gonna try and share a window here. Let's see if it. You guys looking at a slideshow?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So kind of the story of Sugar Splash. We had a goal of bringing couples closer together through intimacy. We believe oral is a big part of that. We all believe it's just a great way of kind of showing your love or you care. We see it as like an act of service, and I think it's really important. So we think it should be enjoyable for everyone, both the person giving it and the person receiving it. Um, and we believe everyone should do it more frequently. All right, so who buys our products and why? Kind of some demographics. So we actually thought that it would be a younger age range. And so you'll notice like a lot of our branding is kind of young and fun. But um, as we've grown, we realized 35 to 50 is kind of our sweet spot. Um, there's a lot of data we can't see, like from the shops and who's buying it in shops, but on our website, this is um, kind of our biggest, our strongest majority of our customers. 60% men, about 40% women are buying the product. Um, and either oral sex is infrequent in the relationship or, um, someone just wants to try something new. All right. So some of the issues, only about 20% of US adults in relationships engage in oral sex weekly. Um, we think everyone should be doing it and doing it often. Um, Also, men are a lot more likely to receive oral than women are, which I think is unfair, and it should go both ways in a relationship. And then I think from stereotypes or whatever reason, a lot of women um, are actually like hesitant to receive oral sex because they're worried about taste or smell or whatever it might be. And we hope to change that. So here's kind of a snapshot of our products. All of the products are made in the USA. Very strict quality controls on them, um, and the active ingredients in the product are natural. So no no weird ingredients in these things. Um, so we'll start off with taste changing tablets. This was the product that we started the business on. You can see in our pocket that was kind of the old packaging, and then we just did a revamp here, um, and it allows for like a lower MSRP, makes it really good for upsells at the counter, and now they're flying ever since we switched to a smaller pack. But so what these are, they change the way that your tongue actually perceives flavor. Um, I know there's been other products in the market in the past before we were here that kind of work differently. And so I think it's pretty important to educate people on how these ones work. So you dissolve a tablet on your tongue, and then it changes the way that your taste buds perceive flavor. So it doesn't change your bodily fluids or anything like that. Um, it makes anything you put on your tongue after that taste sweeter. Um, so these ones are made in the USA. This is actually, we're located in Utah. This is one of the only products that we don't make in Utah because it uses a little berry as the active ingredient. And the berry only grows in like very small areas in the US. So we grow the berry in Florida, and then it comes over to us. But um, they're manufactured under strict current good manufacturing practices. And then the farm itself is a GAP certified farm. So um, let's dive in a little more. So I kind of talked about directions, but you dissolve one on your tongue. It's the way this berry works. It's all about time on tongue. So you want to let it fully dissolve. Um, if you're like me and you're dissolving something on your tongue, it's like I just have this urge to chew it. I can't like ever get through a mint or anything like that. But make sure you don't chew it. Let it dissolve fully on your tongue. Um, and then right after it dissolves, the effects are going to be strongest, but the effects last up to an hour. So they'll kind of slowly taper off over the next hour. Um, and a lot of people, I think, do it and then it dissolves and they're like, okay, is this working or not? You know? And so there's a lot of fun things you can try to see if it's working. You can try lemon juice and it'll taste like lemonade, or um, I've, I've got real crazy with it and taken shots of vinegar and it tastes fine, and I hate vinegar. But it works by kind of knocking down like the sour, salty, bitter flavors of things. Um, and so it's not going to make your partner taste like candy, but just any of those flavors that people may not enjoy, it kind of neutralizes those.
So we have a quick question. So it says, can you just pop these in your mouth at any time, or is it just during oral?
So you can do it, I mean, you can do it anytime, but so after you dissolve it, the effects are only going to work for the next hour. Um, so I think, am I understanding that correct?
Yeah,
That
because
question
well, there's some
correctly?
that you could. There's like some that taste like an Altoid, for instance, and that when you people
Mm.
just pop them in like because they're mint. So people tend to use them in that
Ah,
sense as well. But this seems to be a little bit
mm-hmm,
different, where it neutralizes certain flavors or certain flavors, so that it doesn't stand out. Like you mentioned, the lemon, it neutralizes that so that it becomes sweet.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, like um, food, it'll change the way food tastes. It'll change the way anything tastes. And so if you're just kind of throwing it in your mouth for fun and you want to go have like a snack afterwards, that snack is going to taste very different. So I'd recommend just kind of using it when you're about to perform the act, because it is a really interesting effect. And I've made the mistake of doing one right before lunch, and then like my favorite foods all tasted different, and it was kind of weird. But
so how long do
and
the
the
effects
tablets
last?
themselves, oh yeah,
How long does it last?
1 hour.
1 hour? Okay.
They Yeah, and by the end of that hour, it'll be pretty subtle. It kind of just like slowly tapers off over that hour. But after an hour, everything will be back to normal. Um, and it's not like it's not going in your body and doing anything weird. It's not some crazy reaction you're having to it. It works by binding to your taste buds. So basically, just like the surface of your tongue is all going to be um, there's this thing called miraculin that will be binded to your taste buds. And so over the next hour, then your saliva will break that down and the effects will go away.
Got it. Okay, so
Um,
this is not like a novelty-ish item. This is an actual item that changes the chemistry of your glands versus just an Altoid tasting oral sex enhancer. Got
yes,
it. Okay.
yes, good question. And then kind of to follow that question up, a question we get a lot is, or I think a lot of people are expecting it to be like a candy or a mint or something like that. The tablets themselves, it really just tastes like a natural berry flavor. And so they're not super sweet. There's no sugar in them. Um, it just tastes like there's kind of a bland berry on your tongue for the 3 or so minutes it'll take to dissolve. Um, but then it's everything after you eat the tablet that is going to taste sweeter.
So Kathy's saying, so it's a topical that tricks the taste buds essentially.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Okay.
a great way to put it.
Okay.
Um, I kind of covered the other frequently asked questions here, but yeah, a lot of people, I think it's common for people to just chew it and then be like, wait a minute, this didn't do anything. So make sure people know, just dissolve it on the tongue fully. The directions are pretty clear on the back, but I think some people just, like myself included, I'm not a big directions guy, so I just dive in and try things. But um,
Okay, so we have another quick
yeah.
question from Deborah. What is the sweetener in this
Yeah.
product and how long does it take to dissolve?
So there's no sweetener in the product. There's it's like a binding agent to keep it as a tablet. There's Miracle Berry, but there's no sugar, anything like that. There's 1 calorie, no carbs, no added sugars. So it's no sweeteners in it, but the active in it is called miraculin, which comes from a miracle berry. Um, and so that is actually what does something. It's not like you're just covering your tongue in sugar or anything like that. And then I think that the next question was how long it takes to dissolve.
Yes.
Um, about 3 minutes to dissolve. Um, it's one of those ones where we've played around with different deliveries of it, so you don't have to wait a full 3 minutes. But then it won't work as well because it's not sitting on your tongue for as long. Um, so it actually took us a while to find a formula that would take so long to dissolve on your tongue and get the best effects. Any other questions here before I move on?
How many come in the pack?
Also, I can't. Okay. So I kind of mentioned earlier, we started off with this as like a 6 pack, these little like blister pack um, tablets. And uh, the packaging was expensive. It was 6 tablets. And so it made that price point for shops higher and I think less likely for people to impulse buy them. So we switched to a little 2 count. So one for each partner um, in each sachet. Awesome. Thanks for calling out the questions too, Suzanne. I can't see
Of
any of
course.
them, so this is
I find it
helpful.
very interesting because in our industry, I mean, as far as I know, it's always been minty and Altoid flavor, and it's more like a novelty-ish item. So this is interesting to know
Mm,
that it actually helps with the whole chemistry of oral and ingesting all that because it doesn't taste great. Let's just, you never know what you're going to get.
mm,
And so by having this, you kind of know what you're going to get and
hmm.
it lasts long enough, but just enough. So I think it's great.
Yeah.
It's a great product. Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you. Um, So the next product we launched is Nine Pines. This one kind of works the opposite way, where this one is like a body fluid sweetener. Um, and so each one of these little shots has 9 pineapples worth of bromelain in it, which is the enzyme in pineapple that actually makes you taste sweeter. I think most people have heard like, oh, if you drink pineapple juice, you'll taste better down there. Um, but what they don't realize, so pineapple juice gets pasteurized, and pasteurization kills all of the bromelain in there. So when you're drinking like canned pineapple juice, it's not actually going to change anything. Um, and then you can find it in like a fresh pineapple, but a lot of the bromelain in pineapple is in the skin and the stem of the pineapple, which most people don't actually eat. Um, so each one of these shots is the same as eating 9 whole pineapples. Um, a lot of people, well, I'll get into frequently asked questions in a sec here, but it works on men and women. Um, so you just take a shot, you can drink it by itself. Um, it also makes like a great cocktail mixer. Um, and this one, so you drink the shot, and it takes about uh, 3 hours for it to start working. Um, the effects will come on, and then they're strongest 6 hours after you take it, and then it'll taper off through 12. And so with this one, it's like a good date night starter. Before you go out to dinner or date or whatever, you can drink the shots together. You can mix it in a cocktail to start the evening off, because this one will take a couple hours to start working. Um, and let's see, this one we make right in Utah. Um, Similar, just it's under the CGMP to make sure that it's pure, potent, safe. It's an UL audited facility, which uh, just is good for quality controls and purity and regulatory compliance. This one we do heavy testing on every batch to make sure that the bromelain counts are right, so that we're always putting out a consistent product. Um, so kind of like I was saying, drink the 9 pints 2 to 12 hours before getting busy. Um, One thing to note, you'll have the best results with this product uh, if you reduce your intake of like cigarettes, red meat, caffeine, marijuana, asparagus. There's some things that just have a negative effect on your body fluids. And um, so the way bromelain works is it kind of breaks down those proteins of like those things that do make you taste bad. Um, but always, if you do both at the same time, it's going to have its best results. Um, and then, all right, so
So we have a question that says, thank you for the information on the timing. The packaging says just 2 to 12 hours before. And can it be used or mixed with liquor?
yes, yeah, it works great as a cocktail mixer, as a chaser. Um,
And this is
that's kind of my favorite. Oh, you've got one right there. Um, yeah, that's my favorite way to do it, but also you can just drink as a shot by itself. Um, I like to chill mine. You don't need to, but I think it always tastes. I'm a big cold beverage guy. Um, and then yeah, correct. 2 to 12 hours before. I think I misspoke earlier and said three. But 2 to 12 hours before. 2 hours it starts working. 6 hours it's the strongest it's going to be, and then it kind of tapers off through 12. Um,
Is it bad
yeah,
to use this like all the time, or is it do you need to limit the consumption, or there's no like once a
great
week?
question. Um, So you don't really need to limit outside of just, I wouldn't drink more than a couple a day, um, just because you don't, your body doesn't need that much bromelain. Um, and so I I like to tell people stick to one a day. That's kind of the safe recommendation, especially for people coming in shops. Just tell them one a day. You don't need to be just like drinking these constantly throughout the day. Um, I've uh, we were just at a trade show, and because I was doing samples for everyone, I had like 12 in a day, and why did I don't need this. But yeah, I think one a day is plenty. It'll do the trick. It's gonna work. And then yeah, you can have them daily if you like. Um, yeah, and we like to tell people like if you do drink it daily, then you'll always be sweet. Um, but you can also just save it for the night that you want to taste sweeter. All right. Um, so our name is Sugar Splash, so we get lots of sugar questions, and especially with this product, sweetening your bodily fluids, I think people we get a question of like, well, how much sugar is in there? Because if it's going to make me taste sweeter, this thing must be packed full of sugar. There's only 4 total grams of sugar in here, so it's not working that way. It's not working by just pumping you full of sugar. Um, it's the bromelain that actually works. Um, this product works on men and women. All of our products do. Um, we've done lots of testing on this product, which is kind of funny, but we got a meter that measures the sweetness in fluids and did a lot of testing in the early days. And um, it is noticeably sweeter. So it's not just like, you know, based on the opinion of someone, I'm like, yeah, I think it tastes sweeter. We used a meter that actually measures the sweetness. Um, and then a lot of people do ask if they can drink it if they're allergic to pineapple, and the answer is no. So bromelain, there are like synthetic um, versions of bromelain that don't come from pineapple, but our bromelain does come straight from pineapples, and there's pineapple juice in the bottle. So definitely steer clear. It is real pineapple. Any other questions on
We have one
nine
last question on this
science?
product. It's how does it affect a person if they're diabetic?
That's a great question. I always recommend for any questions like this, I always recommend checking with your doctor. Um, but as far as like the sugar piece of it is 4 grams of total sugar. So it's not going to like spike your blood sugar necessarily. But I think if you have concerns, always check with your doctor. But yeah, I hope that's an okay answer. Um, I think we have our opinions about it, and I think it's completely safe for diabetics. But um, I know a lot of shops I talk with, this is kind of their go-to answer because they don't want to become the doctor for someone. They don't want to give medical advice. And so I think that's the stance we take. All right. The gag suppressing sucker. So deep. Um, this product's been amazing for us. It's when we launched Nine Pines, that one really changed our business and just kind of took off. And um, it was our bestseller and did great and still does great. But then in August last year, we launched Deep, and it's already our bestseller. So this one, we love it. It's a gag suppressing sucker that is non-numbing, so it doesn't use any benzocaine, lidocaine. Any numbing agents like that. It actually works by tricking your brain into turning off its gag reflex. So your brain already has that ability. If you think about when you eat food and you go to swallow on the food, typically you don't gag on that food. But there's still food going down your throat, but your brain just knows not to gag on it and spit it up. So the way this sucker works, it targets the ninth cranial nerve, which is a little nerve in your tongue. It just heavily saturates it with our formula, and then your brain thinks that you're eating. So you just put it on your tongue for 10 to 15 seconds, and then the next 30 minutes, your gag reflex will be suppressed. Um, it's pretty awesome. It's purple raspberry flavor. Um, let's see. We make it in Utah. Um, yeah,
How
no
big is
numbing
it like a
agent.
Tootsie Pop? Is it how can you show it?
Yeah. So here's like a little single bag. Um, so it's kind of what's something I can use for a reference. There's a 9 pounds bottle. I don't know if that helps. Um, it's kind of a bigger sucker, and so um, we found that some people um, eat the whole sucker before they get started, which is unnecessary and takes a lot of time. Um, we designed it to be big. We didn't want tiny little suckers that are just like breaking during shipping and people feeling like they're not getting value for their money. So it is a bigger sucker and it's got like a nice long stick on it. So the way it works, it's just 10 to 15 seconds on your tongue, and then you can test your gag reflex. So you can test it before, see where you're at, 10 to 15 seconds on your tongue, and then test it again. And um, like I've got a horrible gag reflex, and after doing this, I can stick the whole sucker down my throat. So it's pretty crazy how it works. After you use it, you can just kind of set it on the wrapper on the nightstand, whatever. And then if the effects start to wear off in the next 30 minutes or so, then you can just grab the sucker, suck on it again for 10 to 15 seconds and get back to it. Um, this one, it's not designed to be used for like multiple days in a row. Um, so once you start eating the sucker, then your saliva, it's got baking soda in there, so it's got this fun little like fizzing effect almost to it. And so once the saliva hits that baking soda, it kind of will slowly deteriorate the sucker. So after like a couple days, it'll um, not be any good. So we always tell people it's kind of a one-time use. Set it aside during the act, and if you want to re-up, then you can. But then once you're done at the end of the night, just throw it away.
So I'm gonna ask something gross. Since it just takes a little bit, suck
Awesome.
the do you I know you said not to use it again, but can you put it back in the pouch and use it again? Or you don't recommend that at
So
all?
yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Just because the the baking soda in there, it's like once it gets wet, it'll just kind of fizzle
Got it.
slow.
Okay.
Like you won't see it fizzling or anything like that, but it will slowly kind of break down the sucker, and after like a day or two, it'll
Kind of
look
like
like it
Alka-Seltzer, how it just like
melted.
fizzes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we have a
Um,
couple questions. It said, Deborah's asking on the deep sucker, do you have to suck or chew the entire sucker before doing the sexual favor? And then she says, oh, so you don't have to eat the entire sucker. So how many uses would you say you would get out of one sucker? Does it numb your
good
throat at
question.
all?
So it does not numb your throat at all. It does have magnesium in it, um, which will kind of help relax muscles, but it's a pretty subtle amount. It's not going to like numb you or anything like that. Um, and then, so like each sucker takes quite a while to get through. So like if you're going all night. You can keep re-upping. Um, I love the flavor of them, so I'll just kind of eat them for fun. So if you like after you're done, you can just enjoy the whole sucker. Um, but kind of like I was saying, I wouldn't save it for future uses. Um, it's it's not going to hurt you if you save it for future uses. It'll just start to look funky. It'll look like it's like melting or something.
Got it.
Yeah. Um, kind of covered the instructions here. That nerve is on the front third of your tongue. So on the instructions on the back here, it kind of mentions to focus on the front third. Um, that'll get you the best results. Um, and then, yeah, discard sucker after use. Okay. Repeat the whole sucker. No. Just 10 to 15 seconds. Um, they taste, they're a purple raz flavor. So they're really like tart, and then they're a little salty, which is interesting in a sucker. The formula that actually does the trick is a salty formula. And so we explored a million different flavors trying this. And Purple Res was definitely like the best. It went the best with the saltiness. Um, yeah. And it'll have like a little fizzing effect. All right. Any other deep questions before I move on? Cool. All right. Drip. So this is our newest product. Um, This one's been awesome. It's an orange creamsicle flavored mouth-watering mist. So I guess most people are familiar with Flint's mints. Um, this is very similar to that. It's just a sprayable, dosable version. Um, so basically, you can do one spray and it'll be a very subtle effect if you're not looking to just drool like crazy. And then you can just increase the sprays to get to whatever effect you're looking for. Um, so spray it on your tongue, you'll start feeling kind of like a tingly sensation if any of you haven't tried a flint mint. Um, and then you'll feel your mouth start to produce saliva. Um, so we always say wetter is better. If you're performing oral and your mouth is dry, this is a great product for that, and it's just fun to try out. Um, the similar stuff made in Utah and CGMP compliant, US certified, all the safety stuff there. Um, the effects will last for about 10 minutes, and you can just kind of re-up as needed. So anytime the saliva kind of stops, anytime your mouth stops producing saliva, just another spritz or two, and it'll kind of kick back on. It's orange creamsicle flavored. Um, works immediately, like within 10 seconds, I'd say. Um, and then, yeah, similar to the mints on the market, just you can kind of dose it and um, get the desired effects you want.
So we have a question. Is the orange creamsicle the only flavor that you have at this time?
It is for right now. Yeah, uh, we've been slow and hesitant to like add a bunch of flavors to our products. We don't want to become a brand that's like a couple products and a million flavors. You know, we want things we release to be like new and exciting, um, but we have gotten a little feedback. Some people don't like the orange creamsicle, and so that's something we're talking about, but for now, just orange creamsicle.
Okay.
Awesome. I'll skip through these. Okay, so easy introduction to Sugar Splash. Like I mentioned, it works on men and women, so just about anyone that walks in is a potential customer. And the easiest way to sum it all up is that they're oral sex products. Um, we want to remove any of those roadblocks or hurdles that make people not want to perform oral sex or receive oral sex. And so all of our products just kind of make oral sex a little more enjoyable. Um, Nine Pines. Most people have heard drinking pineapple tastes sweet. I think it's always helpful to let people know that pasteurization kills the bromelain, and so it's not just like pineapple juice in a little bottle. Something much more. The taste changing tablets. Yeah, it's just it'll make a lemon taste like lemonade, and so imagine what that could do in the bedroom for you. The gag suppressing suckers, I do think a big selling point of this is that they're non-numbing. Um, we've talked to a lot of people that don't like to use the numbing products, and so I think that's a great thing that sets this product apart. Um, and it's just in the fun delivery of a sucker. And then the drip we just talked about, but it's dosable, so you don't have to commit to drooling your face off. Um, you can have a little bit or a lot, and it's a fun product. I think that's everything on the slideshow, but are there any questions?
We have one question. It says, could you crush the sucker and just use a little piece at a time so that it lasts longer?
Whoa, whoever asked that is a genius. Yes, you could definitely do that. Yeah. Um, yeah, that totally works. It's just once saliva hits it, then, or like any moisture, I guess, then it will start to kind of react with that baking soda in there.
Mhm.
The only thing I would say is if you're in a super humid environment, then like once you open the sucker out of the package and out of the cellophane, um, and it's just kind of sitting out in a humid environment, then that would start to break away at it. But you can always like put it in a Ziploc bag or something. Getting creative. I like that.
Any other questions? I don't see any additional questions. Oh, great information. Thank you. Alicia
You're
says, whoop,
so
whoop.
welcome.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you, Kathy. No, I learned a lot. So thank you for the training. Very, very informational, very educated. Um, does anyone have any more questions? No, I think we're good. Well, thank you again for your time. And everyone else, we will see you next week at Wednesdays at 1.
Awesome. Thank you guys so
Bye. Take care,
much.
everyone.
See you guys.